For Free Life in 2016, it states that it's estimated that 1.69 billion pounds of cigarette butt litter is tossed onto the ground each year around the world. That's found in paragraph 2. Since a lot of people smoke in these public places, they're leaving their butts from the cigarettes on the ground, which is bad for our environment. From the sources I use, I could tell you more about why we shouldn't allow people to smoke in public places. Some people think we should continue to allow them to smoke in public places, and in my speech I plan to tell you more about why we shouldn't allow them to smoke in public places. My main points are why smoking is a problem, why other people think we should continue to allow them to smoke in public places, and why secondhand smoking is harmful for us. First, I'm going to tell you more about why smoking in public places is a problem. A lot of people die from smoking every year. According to Marcella Frew in 2019, she also states that on average, 12.2% of smokers have smoked inside restaurants in the last 12 months, 21.3% inside pubs and bars, and 35.2% inside discos. That's found on page 3. There's a fairly large amount of people that are smoking in these public places. A lot of people could die, and then also everyone else that is around them could also die. According to Marcella Frew in 2019, she also states that tobacco smoking is a risk factor for 6 of the 8 leading causes of death in the world. It's found on page 1. If we could lower the amount of people that are smoking in these public places, a lot of people won't be dying. I talked about why smoking is a problem. Now I'm going to talk about why other people think we should continue to allow them to smoke in these public places. There are several different reasons why people think we should continue to allow them to smoke in these public places. One of the reasons is businesses will be better, so the business won't be actually losing money instead of gaining money, because they still have the smoking customers that would still go to the store or restaurant to buy stuff. According to Smoking in Public Places Pros and Cons of 2016, it also states, but by allowing people to smoke in public places outside the establishment, smokers can still visit the place because they won't feel restricted by not being able to smoke. So like I said, the business won't be losing money, but the business will be actually putting other people's lives in danger because of secondhand smoke. So when they are smoking outside, people will pass by and they can breathe in the smoke and they'll get secondhand smoke. Another reason is smokers will be socializing. So they'll be meeting different people and talking to them, and they could become friends because they can see that they have something in common, which is that they like to smoke. So when they're talking and smoking outside, the smoke would get into the air from the cigarettes and could cause air pollution. If they're smoking and talking inside, everyone that's in the building could die from secondhand smoke. The last reason, since people think that they're smoking outside, they'll be okay because it's not smoking inside and it's not harming anyone. You can still get secondhand smoke even though you're still smoking outside. When people go on breaks for restaurants or like from the stores, businesses, they usually like to smoke the cigarettes, and then the smell from the cigarettes will get onto the clothes, which some people don't really like the smell. So they won't be going to the store or restaurant no more, so the business and restaurant will be actually losing money instead of gaining money. So if we can stop people from smoking in these public places, a lot of people will be shopping more and the customers won't really have to worry about them getting secondhand smoke. I'll discuss why people think we should continue to allow them to smoke in these public places. Now I'm going to talk about why secondhand smoking is harmful for us. A lot of people die from secondhand smoking each year. So the smoke would be in the air, which can cause secondhand smoke. So the people will walk by or breathe in the smoke, and they will get secondhand smoke. So if we don't allow people to smoke in these public places, a lot of people will be dying, and they also have better health, which they can live longer. You can also get heart failure from secondhand smoke. So secondhand smoke will lead to hypertension, which then in turn will lead them to get heart failure. You can also get the cardiovascular disease when you're around someone that is smoking a lot. So the cardiovascular disease is like when you're having a stroke. According to T.M. Skipping in 2021, who wrote secondhand smoke exposure is associated with prevalent heart failure states the harmful effects of passive smoking on the cardiovascular system and highlights the need for further prohibition on smoking in public places. That's one on page 5. If we could stop these people from smoking in public places, they won't be getting heart failure and they won't be dying from heart failure either. All in all, let's conclude what I talked about. First, a lot of people die from smoking each year, and a lot of people smoke in bars and discos. Next, people believe we should continue to allow them to smoke in public places because businesses won't be losing money, they'll be socializing more, and since people think that they're smoking outside, they're not smoking inside, so they're not harming anyone. Lastly, you can get heart failure from secondhand smoke. When people are smoking in public, it will lead to hypertension, which then in turn will lead them to get heart failure. I'm going to end with the quote from Ray Comfort in paragraph 8. Each of us should think of the future. Every puff on a cigarette is another step closer to a time bomb with terrible consequences. Thank you.